Howdy gang, welcome back to the Henri Latina. Tonight's video is all about Walt Disney. Oh yes, you know, Disney World and Disneyland, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse. He's not that great. And I'll tell you why. So many people spend a lot of money thinking the whole wonderful right to childhood is going on this wonderful vacation to Florida, sunny Florida, and taking their kids to Disney World and in California, Disneyland. Well, I'm telling you, it's underrated. The one time I got arrested was at Disneyland in Anaheim. And I had this bright idea that I wanted to go to the amusement park. And me and a couple kids went up to Anaheim. And, you know, everything's so overpriced. Back in the day, we could take our backpacks and we smuggled some beers inside the park. And they didn't check it. And then we got inside because we paid full price, but only an hour was left at the park because instead of staying open all night, they were closing early because of grad night. And I said, we came a long way. We'll just go in. And as we went in and they announced that the park was closing in an hour, I came up with a brainstorm with the gang, and I said, let's not leave. And then my friend, chimed in, and he said, yeah, let's go up to Tom Sawyer Island and drink our beer. So we did. So we were up in Tom Sawyer Island drinking our Coors, and I was making noises going, ah, 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 and just being weird. I was being a pirate, because I'm a typical pirate. And we were drinking our beer and having a jolly good time up there, and we saw the grads coming in. And guess what, gang? We were screwed. The grads did not show up dressed like us. They showed up in these grad outfits. They had tux, and they had ballroom dresses. Well, I was a teenager at the time, and I was in jeans and a t-shirt, and so was my friend. So when we tried to integrate with the group, the guys that were 4 years older that had facial hair and everything were grabbed instantly by security, and they were carted off to jail. So we lost our ride. So we went on one ride and we wondered where the hell the guys went. We looked over through the whole park, and by that time, it was getting later and they were nowhere to be found. And I said, my dad is going to kick my ass if I'm not home by curfew. And I'm just going to get such an ass kicking. I'm in so much trouble. I was more afraid of my dad than the cops at that point. So I said, something had to happen. So we went to the office. Well, actually went to the gate. We tried to get out and said we left something in our car, but they wouldn't let us little teeny boppers leave. So they told us to go back and enjoy the rides. And we could have. And then when it was over, we could have went to our cars and got out of there. But long story short, the cops, I went back and reported everything and told them what we did. And they put the handcuffs on me and read me my rights and threw me in the cop car. And I rode in the back seat, and I was like, oh God, my dad's going to be so pissed. We get to the police station, and because I was 18, they decided to let me go and keep my friend that was 17. And so I'm by myself in Anaheim. And so I hitch a ride, to the train station. Called my dad from the police station. They sent money up, to get my ticket. And I took the Amtrak home. And that day, I couldn't show up for work because, my dad had to explain to my boss that I was arrested. And that was real good. At Disney World or Disneyland. So I didn't have a very good time. And I still fucking hate Disney World or Disneyland. I hate the frickin' Mickey Mouse. I hate Walt Disney. I just hate him because, you know what? Every time I go there, I have a shitty time. You stand in a long line. You wait for these stupid, overpriced rides that make you sick. You want to barf. Even when I was younger, I wanted to barf. Ho-Ho, the Pirates, the Caribbean, and all the fucking water rides and stupid thing that jerks your neck around. And then not only that, you can't smuggle your own food anymore. You have to buy their overpriced, toxic park crap that God knows where they get it from. But anyway, it tastes like shit. It's way overpriced. And then everything in that park is overpriced. And all you see is a bunch of screaming kids whining and crying for more stuff. Well, I'm telling you, this is the rite of passage for every child. And you know what? Long are the days that we could just go to the beach for a picnic, or just get together with family, or just take the time to really enjoy your children. Now, people work so hard that they have to go to fucking Disney World or Disneyland in order to have a vacation. And they have to be miserable in that stupid park and stand in line with 100 million other people. Walt Disney owns the media. Oh gosh, guys, the media is liberal. And you know what? Fucking Mickey Mouse can kiss my Puerto Rican ass. Because you know what? Him and Hollywood and that stupid little cartoon, Fantasia, that is like so demonic. My daughter was in a trance watching that like 25 times, and I finally said, I'm going to break the Fantasia video. She's like, Mother, no, it's my favorite one. I said, no, it's like a freaking drug. There's little demons dancing around. It is satanic. But, you know, if you think about some of the Disney movies that are just, like, not fit for kids, it's like, what the fuck is up with Aladdin? You know, they sit there and have these little slave girls dancing. I mean, like, it's supposed to be great. I mean, that's just not how it is in the Middle East. Why don't they have the truths? You know, the Muslim jihad terrorists blowing people up and having the women walking around in these black burqas looking really scary. The whole idea of what Middle Eastern culture is portrayed in Aladdin is like so off the mark. But, you know, they have things about the royals as well, you know, and everything is happily ever after. You know what? If you get a divorce and you're Princess Diana, it's not happily ever after. It's like you're going to get blown up in your fucking car. That's what's going to happen to you. And if you're Grace Kelly, same thing. You don't get divorces when you're married to a royal. You just get often. So why don't we have a little cartoon about that, Walt? Or why don't we have a cartoon about the homosexuality that gets promoted? Yes. Oh, yes. You know, we have this big gay agenda here in the United States. We have to rally for gay rights. But you know what? What next? NAMBLA? They have a thing called Man-Boy Association where men want to be free to have sex with little boys. Oh, wow. And where do we go next? Animals, like in the Middle East? You know, I know this is politically incorrect, and I know some people are just going to be outraged by my comment, maybe even calling it hate. Well, you know what's hateful? Is that you guys manipulate little kids' minds, innocent little children with your fucking cartoons, your evil, demonic Fantasia, and your stupid amusement park that is way overpriced, that we have to stand in line forever, okay? You know, and people think that this is enjoyment coming to these hot, shitty, sweaty place, you know, like SeaWorld, who puts animals in captivity and claims that they're all for the environment at the same time, making them like do all these things that, you know, no animal should ever have to do, you know, and they wonder why a killer whale like grabs somebody and holds them under the water. You know, maybe they don't want to perform people. Maybe it's unnatural for this huge mammoth animal to be put in a little pool to be used as a circus whale. Oh, but that couldn't possibly be abusive. No, because it's making a bunch of people a lot of money. So, you know, come to Florida, you know, yeah, come to Disney World, people. Come to drive in a lot of traffic, sweat your ass off, and pay a lot of money for just a bunch of bullshit. And then have Walt Disney own the media channels and then call it liberal. And then while you're sitting there claiming that you don't like the way our country's going, then you're to blame if you buy into all this stupidity. Okay, I'm glad to end this on a positive note. If you like my videos and you feel outraged by the big corporations buying up the media and calling it liberal, forward this video on. Do your research. See what NBC, CBS, and ABC are all about. Because you know what? The government doesn't own these channels. Big corporations do. With that said, guys, have a great evening and God bless.